Hi everyone, I'm your host, Chef Clay Smith, and I want to show you how to use your leftovers. And we made this beautiful, almost cinnamon roll inspired bread pudding with croissants. It is so good. Let's get into it. If you've gone to your grocery store and you see these boxes, they have 50% off. They're not like the best croissants you can buy. They're kind of flat, dilapidated. They're not very airy, but they are great for making like leftover stuff with. So if you can get them for 50% off on clearance, they are perfect. We'll actually cut them. We're gonna just cut them on a bias into like 3 pieces. This is just to open up the croissant. They're quite stale, which is exactly what we want. You wouldn't want to be using like the freshest stuff here. This is the casserole dish I'm gonna be baking my stuff into. So I'm actually gonna just take all these crumbs from the croissants and just put them right in there. First thing we're gonna do is make an egg base here. Okay, your custard base. And then I'm going to come in with about 2/3 of a cup of milk. I'm using whole milk. Use what you have. You could say, well, shouldn't you use cream? But the croissants are so filled with butter, they're going to carry the fat that we need for this dish. And then we're just going to take a vanilla pod. We're going to split that in half. We're going to scoop out those vanilla beans. And then this, don't waste this. I'm actually going to put this in a cup of sugar, like a mason jar with sugar in it, and then that's actually going to flavor the sugar. After like a month's time, I'm going to have beautiful vanilla sugar. So I'm just going to take these vanilla pods, mix them up as best I can, and use the fork. As you're using the fork, kind of push down as you're whisking so you can separate those vanilla beans. We'll grab another wide bowl. I'm going to put a cup of sugar in there, tablespoon and a half of cinnamon. I like a bold flavor. I'm going to take my secret ingredient, about a teaspoon of fine espresso powder. That's going to go in. It's not really going to make it taste like coffee, but you're going to get a really nice bite from it. I'm just going to use my hands, mix that up a bit. Salt. I think that anytime you are making a cinnamon sugar, salt is going to be its best friend. It's going to basically take it from, oh, this is very sweet, to like, oh wow, this you can really get the flavor of the cinnamon coming out, and oh, it's just really good. Okay, so we've got 3 bowls here. We've got our vanilla egg base, we have our cinnamon sugar, and then we have our casserole dish. So all I'm gonna do is dip the bread into there. And I really want it to soak up everything. So I might squeeze it a little bit, leave it in there for a second. You can kind of see those bubbles coming out. It's exactly what we want. We want this to really suck up the juices. Once that happens, I'm gonna take them and roll it around and then just toss it in here. Same thing here. I want it to kind of get nice and soft, really absorb all those juices. And we'll keep doing this until it's done. And don't be afraid at the end to like really like rub that egg mixture in. I don't really want like pieces really sticking out, because if they are, they're gonna burn. So I'm gonna wash my hands, get this into the oven, and we'll come back. This took 35 minutes to cook. It smells so good. Because I've got about half a cup of milk here. I'm gonna come in with about 2.5 teaspoons of sugar. I'm just gonna give this a really nice shake. It's gonna do 2 things. It's gonna aerate the milk, so you can see it's like double the size now. Secondly, it's gonna dissolve the sugar. Milk's more than double the size. I'm just gonna come in here, and you hear that like crispy top to it. I mean, look at that. Crispy top, almost cookie-like. These nice layers, you can see how they just peel away. How absolutely good does that look? Pour it right over top, nice and gentle. And that is my cinnamon roll bread pudding made with leftover stale croissants. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a like. It really supports me. Subscribe for a lot more videos and recipes coming your way, and any links for equipment you might need in the description below.